for 15 years. In a separate tribute posted on her lifestyle outlet, Oprah said she was thankful to be able to spend some time with her father in the weeks before his passing. I'm Chris Coraggio, NBC News Radio.
You're on board KCAA's Inland Talk Express. KCAA, Loma Linda, 1050 AM, the station that leaves no listener behind.
Irritated.
Irritated too?
Yep.
Oh, well. I'm not going to get into this, so. Anyway, welcome to another wonderful show, and we have a very interesting show today. First of all, later on in the show, we have someone calling in with a new product called Jillian's. It's a baked good, but you'll find out. We'll tell you more about that later. But we went to Artesia, a small little city, Artesia, near Long Beach, kind of near Cerritos. And it's kind of got to be the mecca of culinary, anything Indian, Korean. They've got a little bit of everything there. Jamaican, Ethiopian, a lot of ethnic stuff there. And it's a great day to just walk around and taste a lot of stuff. They have a lot of street foods and stuff, especially Indian food. We went to an Indian place. We'll know more. Once we know more about that, we'll have to talk to the owner and stuff. But we'll talk about Indian sweets, which are really very interesting. If you like baked goods, these are a little bit different. It's kind of baked and candy at the same time. Very, very interesting stuff, but good stuff. So, anyway, how are you doing? Outside of being irritated, hungry, and hot?
I just woke up with a headache. So it's like the worst thing to wake up to. It's like you just set your day off. It's like, oh, God, does that start again?
You have a lot of headaches, so.
Yeah, I think it's the weather changes and different things.
Now,
who knows?
Did you have more headaches with me or before you met me? No comments. Okay. Now I know why. And I thought there was something. Well, that's good. It's not dangerous or anything. So anyway, I try. So let me tell you of a few sponsors of ours. I want to get it out of the way so we can talk about Ethiopian food. And we went to an incredible restaurant. It was kind of a hidden gem that I think everyone should be going to. And it's a very misunderstood cuisine. I think it's one of the world's best cuisines, but it's also misunderstood. So we're going to be diving into that. But first, I want to tell you about Bowler & Bowler. Now, Bowler & Bowler is a father-son law firm. They're located in Redlands. And if you have any problems in terms of if you have to go through a divorce or you have a problem with divorce, they also specialize in prenuptial agreements, spousal support issues, same-sex marriages, child support, non-marital relationships, paternity suits, and anything that has to do with family law. What's nice about them is they're very honest. They speak to you, not down to you, or just blah 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 blah. And they don't care. They really do listen. They do care. Their staff are incredible. When you call them, if they don't have an answer, they call you back, which is really hard to find nowadays. So I highly recommend them. They're very, very professional and they do a good job. So again, it's called Bowler & Bowler Family Law. The website is Bowler and Bowler, BOWLER and AND Bowler.com, and their phone number is 909-335-4848. That's 909-335-4848. Bowler & Bowler Family Law. So if you have to go through a divorce or you're going one, I would definitely recommend them. That's the main thing. Another one of our sponsors who I love is Ray's Shanghai Bistro. Now, they're located in Redlands, right next to DMV pretty much, and on Lagonia. And what's nice about that is everything's fresh. The owners are there all the time. The head chef is the owner. So the food's going to be really, really good. And some of my favorite dishes, I know Izzy has her favorites too, is crisp pork spare ribs, which is really good. It's like deep fried, really good with garlic. Their unique spicy lamb with bamboo. That's one of your favorites, Izzy. A sweet and tangy deep fried orange peel beef. It's kind of a standard in all restaurants, but I think they do theirs better.
Well, it's crispy and it's tangy, super tangy. Because sometimes it's like not enough sauce or too much sauce, or soggy, or too much batter. It's always a mix of wrong things. Theirs is right on.
Right. Another one is a savory basil spicy shrimp, plus lots of vegetarian dishes. Whether you dine in, pick up, or just have them deliver it, or basically take it home and have a party with it. That's the main thing. Office party or just a nice dinner. This is a restaurant that I think it's one of the best Chinese restaurant in the Inland Empire. Let's put it that way. It's authentic and just really, really good. Again, it's called Ray's. It's RUI_S Shanghai Bistro. As Ray'sShanghaiBistro.net. And again, they're located right next to DMV on Lagonia in Redlands. Ray's RAIS ShanghaiBistro.net.
RUIS.
RUIS.
Yep.
Did I say that?
No, you say A.
Oh, another thing to irritate you.
I just didn't want people to look at RAIS. I'm not finding that.
I'm going to walk on eggshells this show. You don't want to play around with Izzy. She's like a chihuahua. She's small but mighty, so I'll be nice to you. So, okay, and then the other one is I want to talk about is Soaring Swine Acres. And this is a company, a small company, family-owned, and they make incredible small batches of jams, jellies, vinegars, mustards. They do a little bit of
barbecue
everything.
sauce.
Barbecue sauces, salsas, everything. You name
Pickles.
it. Pickles. Plus, they have a whole thing of honeys and teas.
Teas, yeah.
And one of them is for people who get irritated. So I'm going to go back afterwards and get a couple gallons for you, Izzy. So, now she's looking at me again. Okay. Another irritation. I'm keeping track of this. That's two so far in 5 minutes. That's good. So, anyways.
Just add to the list.
Yeah. It's Soaring, SOARING, swine, SWINE, acres.com. That's SoaringSwineAcres.com. Now, you can get it on the internet, or you can go to Yucaipa, and they're on California. So as soon as you get on California, make a right. They're right there, second door. And just nice people. Mary Reuter, she's been on a show many times, and very inventive jellies and jams. That's I think what I like about them best. It's not your traditional stuff. So
well, I just love how creative she is. Like my latest favorite is the Galactic grapes.
That is incredible. They're basically
champagne
grapes.
Yep.
That she guess pickles.
It's so
and
good.
It's sweet, a little tangy, but so good.
It goes like just the right size to give you. It's like a bite size, right? So it's perfect. Like if you have roast beef or ham, or you literally can just pop one in and then have a bite of some sort, chicken or whatever protein, and it just changes the flavor. Really amazing.
Yeah. In fact, we just have one in the refrigerator now. We haven't tried it
Yeah,
yet.
I bought a bottle. I couldn't wait. Well, I had it, and I really loved it, so I had to go buy another bottle.
You're just waiting for me to be out of the house, and then you'll drink it. So, anyway, SoaringSwineAcres.com. Okay, Artesia. Again, we were there, and I've never been there. Izzy's, you've been there before.
Yep.
And you've actually walked it. And
yeah, it used to be really, pre-COVID, it was quite a bustling area. It's quite fun to walk around there. There's like, little markets. You can buy different, ethnic items. And also there's, like sari, like beautiful stores with these beautiful, colorful saris and, jewelry store. It's just so vibrant. The whole area is just colorful and vibrant. And, it was really fun just to walk down the street and just kind of like try a little bit thing here, a little bit there. I really enjoyed it. Post-COVID, it's changed a little bit. I think the storefronts are a little less variety. It seems like there's more food places now. And it's just as interesting, I think, because, it's stuff that we don't really get those things in Inland Empire. There's not like an area like Little India, they call it there. So, it's really like going to trying, like you seeing things that you've never heard of before or seen before or tasted before. So I always like that. It's kind of adventure,
Well, we like doing that. We like experimenting and trying new things. And that's definitely one of the more exciting places to go to. I highly recommend it. I mean, it's just fun, and I'm now addicted to it. Even though I've been there twice. We ate at another restaurant there. Mm-hmm. So, well, let's talk about Ethiopian food a little bit. Mm-hmm. First of all, let me get my little notes here, since I'm not a geographic whiz. Here it is. History of cuisine. Okay, the region around modern-day Ethiopia was exposed to various exotic spices from India, which were the chili peppers from Portugal. And then ginger from East Africa. Mm-hmm. They go back as far as 1400s. And what's happened is they also use indigenous products that are into Ethiopia, like grains such as sorghum, millet, teff, which we'll talk about later, and wheat. They grow well in the temperature climate, which is very hot there. And the dishes today it's kind of a blend introduced from spices from around the world and from countries, neighboring countries, and their own ingredients. So it's very unique. People want me to describe it. And how would you describe it? I mean, it's Middle Eastern meets Moroccan meets Chinese, a little bit of everything.
I wouldn't say Chinese because we don't eat those spices.
Oh,
really?
Ginger.
That's the only thing.
Okay.
I would think it's more Mediterranean meat. Probably, Indian. It's really a unique blend. I mean, if you like spices, not spicy, but spices that, some stuff are not spicy and a lot of things are spicy. So it just depends. But I think it's just unique flavor. It's hard to describe.
Yeah, it really is, but definitely worth trying.
Mm-hmm.
Now, at the restaurant that we went to, it's called Zawi. Let's see, where is it here? Awaze, which is named after some spices,
A type of spice.
Spices.
Yep.
And it's on the top of a center, kind of an Indian center. Nothing but food and bakeries, and have an incredible ice cream store there called Saffron, which I've never heard of, but it's been around for a long time, and just delicious food.
We'll talk about that next.
Yeah, that'd be part of it too. But anyway, it's a beautiful restaurant, and let's talk about the food now. All the dishes, the way it's all very communal, very social. That's how they eat. They eat with families and friends. They don't usually eat alone, and everything's done it's called injera. And think of a pizza, but it's made out of teff, which is a grass grown in Ethiopia. It's fermented. It takes about 4 days. It's mixed with water, and it's fermented. And what you have there is kind of like a rubberized crepe, a sourdough crepe. Is that a best way of describing it, would you say?
Yeah, that's what it tastes like. But it's very light. I mean, it's fluffier than a crepe, but it's just light and almost airy.
Spongy. A little
spongy. It's
Real
something
thin.
You cannot describe, and it's not greasy whatsoever. It doesn't have any like grease tasting to it. It's just very unique, and it's very it's like a blank slate when you eat it, except for the little tanginess.
Right. No, it's delicious. What they do now, they put scoops of the different vegetarian and meats onto it, and what they give you, it's a big giant injera. Then they give you some on the side, and what you do is just rip it off and use your hands and just kind of scoop it. You eat with the right hand. The left hand is considered not sanitized.
Well, because I think a lot of the countries that eat with hands, the left hand is like for other things, and the right hand's where you eat with. You keep it clean. So that's a hand that usually is what you eat with. I mean, it's in Malaysia. I think a lot of the different countries, India, it's always the right hand. So a lot of Middle Eastern countries. So
I once had a grub club there, and I think just one person didn't like it because they didn't like eating with their hands, and that's what's
oh,
to
you
me
mean
a fun
Another
part.
Ethiopian restaurant?
Yeah, it was another Ethiopian restaurant,
Okay.
and but they didn't like us. No utensils. It's strictly your hand. So it's just very interesting. But the food is really good. So
Yeah.
what makes it good are the spices, obviously, and the
Well, the
style of cooking.
awazi, I think hope I said it right.
Yep.
It's actually a spicy sauce that's native to Ethiopia. It consists of berbere, Berbere, a typical mixture of spices made from dried chili, ginger, garlic, onion, rue seeds, cardamom, cloves, and cinnamon sticks. So it's just a unique blend of spices they make it's like a fermented sauce.
Mhm. It's kind of like their version of ketchup.
Yeah, but it's spicy ketchup.
They're very. I mean, you loved it. I can't believe
I really liked it. I mean, except for the spice level, I think I can see myself put it on a lot of things because it's tangy. It's kind of vinegary. It's tangy, got a little bit of kick, but it's not overwhelming tasting. I mean, it just need a little bit. It goes a long way. And they had like these awesome, pastries that it was an appetizer. It's filled with lentils and beef or ground beef. And so they look like almost like samosas or empanadas, but it's thin, much thinner,
flaky.
flaky outside, not as greasy, and it's served fresh and hot, and then you dip in the sauce to eat it. It just really adds to, because like the fried item was kind of not over seasoned, so that kind of adds to it. I think it really complements it well.
Yeah, that was a great thing. So, in terms of the spices, let me go through some of them. Again, you mentioned the Berbere. Now, this is a literal meaning means hot, and Amharic, I guess is their language, Ethiopian national language, and it's used in everything. It's made with various types of fenugreek, coriander, cardamom, cumin, chilies, allspice, cloves, pepper, paprika, ginger, garlic, turmeric, nutmeg, cinnamon, mustard seed, black cumin, karom, I'm not sure what that is, rue, R-U-E seeds, Ethiopian basil, salt, wine can be added to make it into a delicious marinade. But it's every household makes it differently. It's kind of like garam masala in India.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's no one. Everyone makes their own spices.
Well, because I think they use the raw materials and make it adjusted according to their flavor.
Right.
So it's the same thing, a curry, same thing, because every household make their blend different.
Very different, yeah. Mm-hmm. But it's excellent. I mean, that's a big thing. Another spice is called the shiro, which is chickpea flour. It's or bonza beans flour, basically. Mm-hmm. Mita. It's a special, a very hot, spicy mix, commonly used particularly with beef dishes. Its main ingredients by far is chilies, and then cardamom, cloves, salt, all tossed together, ground into a powder. Another one is Mekelesha, Mekelesha. It's a blend of 7 spices that is sprinkled on watts, which we'll talk about later, at the end of the cooking, much like garam masala, to give a lovely aroma. The 7 spices are cardamom, cinnamon, black pepper, nutmeg, cumin, Indian long pepper, and cloves. Really, really, really good. 3 more spices that are primarily used in Ethiopian cooking is koranima. This is referred to as cardamom in recipes, but actually different. It's much larger and should be used if possible. It's much, much different, but it has all that full flavor. Something called biso bila, which is also known as sacred basil. It refers to the dried leaves, not the seeds. Normal basil can't be used as a substitute, so it's got to be just that one. And the last ingredient that primarily used is called koreset, which is another Ethiopian spice. It's closer to oregano, but lighter and more floral. So that's the spices. And then they also have something called, they have lentils, a lot of lentils they use, and something called Masir Wat, which is a red lentil stew. They use a lot of like I said, a lot of lentils in it and everything. They also use a butter. It's called a Niter, N-I-T-E-R, kebi, and it's spice-infused clarified butter that is the other secret ingredient of Ethiopian food. And without this ingredient, it's impossible to make real authentic tasting dishes at home. So I didn't even know about that one, but it was really, really good. You're listening to the Let's Dine Out show right here on AM 1050, and we're talking about Ethiopian food. Mm-hmm. In terms of, let me get the next notes here. Some of the dishes that we had, it's kind of confusing. We had a lot of different ones. What we had, it was like $50, and it was injera, big injera, mm-hmm. and I think there was like 15 or so. It was a lot of different scoops of both vegan, vegetarian, and some meats in it too. And you can get all vegetarian if you want, or you can have some meats in it too. It's mostly lamb and beef, kind of like halal and kosher. Pork, they don't eat pork. They have some seafood too, but not pork because it's no fish like seafood like a lobster and crab. Because they're bottom feeders basically, so they don't do that. Let's see what else. Okay, so let's talk about the injera. So again, the injera, it's a spongy bread, cornerstone of almost all Ethiopian meals. It's made with 100% teff flour. It's TEF or TEFF flour. And again, it's gluten-free and vegan. So if you have gluten-free issues, this is a great one. And what's nice about it is you put the things on top of it and just eat it away. And then when you're done, you eat the bottom part. It's really, really amazing. I'm a big fan of injera. I always have been, and I know Izzy loves it too. Again, it's that sourdough. I love sourdough. And
what's so neat is, I had no idea because I've had Ethiopian food in different places all over the country and actually in Canada, different places, and it all tastes a little bit different. Just like curry or Indian food because like everybody makes their own. Well, I think this injera is a little more tangy because she says she fermented it for 3 days.
3
They
days.
make it from scratch. So actually, they buy the grain, grind it up, and make everything and let it ferment for 3 days before they make it into this, wonderful flatbread kind of thing.
Now, a lot of restaurants, they buy it because it's kind of
Correct.
time-consuming, but they actually make it there in the kitchen.
Yeah, that's what made me very impressed about everything. And their kitchen looks like a catering kitchen, and it's like shiny, clean. You can see it. It really was impressive. I think
It's a nice little restaurant.
Yeah, totally unexpected because if you go into a center, you're like, okay, well, it's kind of like you feel like you're in a different country altogether.
And they all speak English too, very good English.
Yes, correct. And
very,
then,
very
you go up this elevator and you're like, okay, what's going on? But once you walk into a restaurant, it's very welcoming. It's very open, very clean. Yeah, I mean, they're just really lovely people. I just think it's so unique, such a neat find. Yeah.
I would actually say they're probably one of the nicest looking races in the world. The women are beautiful. They're tall and gorgeous. And the guys all look like Adonis. They're all like, really nice looking guys.
Athletic,
yeah.
tall and lean,
Unlike me.
Yeah.
And see, I knock myself too. So anyway, again, just to remind you, the name of the restaurant is Awaze, Awaze. Now, they don't have a website, so it's a little difficult to find.
But you can find them on Google. If you go on Google, look Awaze, you can find pictures people have posted. Some
all 5-star reviews, every one of them.
Mm-hmm. And then they're been open pretty recently. I guess they owned another restaurant somewhere else. So this is a new location, and then this is a new basically new menu, I guess, for them. Yep. They used to have another restaurant cooking a different type of food. So it's just really refreshing to try something new, especially here locally in California.
I'll give you the address. It's 18764 Pioneer Boulevard in Artesia. And their phone number is 562-214-7312. Looks like 7312. A little hard to read here, but 7312. Back to the dishes. What Izzy was talking about before, kind of like samosa, it's called a sambusa. And again, it's a street food, and it's basically stuffed pastry. And you can either get it with, they make it either with lentils or with beef, either one. Mm-hmm. Another one is called Doro Wat, Dorowat. It's spelled as Wat, W-O-T. It's one of the most common terms used in the Ethiopian food. This general term refers to a stew made with combination of spices, meats, and vegetables. Of all the varieties of Wat, Doro is the most popular. The spicy stew combines chicken, hard-boiled eggs, tomato paste, garlic, caramelized onions, and ginger. It's considered an Ethiopian national dish, and Dorowat is often served as part of a communal platter offering a range of different dishes. That's again what we had, and I think that's that's how they serve it. Again, we had the big one, the $50 sampler, but you can get the individual ones too. Mm-hmm. Another dish was called Genfro, Genfo. It's a typical Ethiopian breakfast consisting of porridge made with a barley or wheat flour, eaten with a sauce made from berbere and niter kibu, which is that infused butter. That's for breakfast. Something's called Kik Alache, Kikalicha. It's basically if you don't have a high tolerance for spicy food, it's a great option. This is an Ethiopian stew, contains split peas, again the butter, seasoned butter, and turmeric. So it's very different, but it's got that unique turmeric flavor, kind of a curry flavor. Mm-hmm. It doesn't contain any of the super spicy ingredients, so if you don't like a lot of spice. And again, they ask you, we told them we don't want it too hot, because it can be deathly hot. There's times when I ate with my ex-partner, David Cohen, and we were crying. It was so good, but we were eating this dish. We were crying and saying, God, this is good, at the same time. So,
well, I think some of the stuff, is so cooked in, the flavor, I don't think it's adjustable, I think. I think, it's a good mix. If you tell them you don't want too spicy, you might have a spicy item, then something really mellow, and that's not spicy. So you kind of I think you mellow it out, because it's a platter that's huge, as big as most people's round tables, so like little kitchen tables, and it has a little of everything, a dollop of everything. So literally,
But
you
it's
can
sweet,
grab
it's sour, it's spicy. They have beets that were made it sweet, crunchy. It's got everything.
veggies. I mean, it has a little bit blended everything. So it really, you can pick anything out of the platter, mix it up, and make it your own very unique flavor every bite.
Right.
So
You also see on menus on this one especially, it's called Tibs, Tibs. It's another must-try food in Ethiopia, referring to various cuts of beef or lamb. It's pan-fried in butter, onion, and garlic, and it can be hot or mild. It depends on what you have, and it may or may not come with vegetables, depending on the specific dish at different restaurant. We had it without vegetables, and it was just really, really good.
yeah, well, like I said, the platter had a little bit of everything, so it did have vegetables next to it, but not cooked with it. Yeah, definitely.
Really good. Then they had Shiro Wat, Shiro Wat, W-A-T, and it's Ethiopian dish that, let's see, how to describe it. It's ground chickpea flour cooked with onions, garlic, tomatoes, chili pepper, and ginger, and Shiro Wat has a smooth and creamy, almost like a hummus-type texture to it that's perfect eating with the injera. So, and again, what's nice is you kind of get a scoop of this, a scoop of that, and mix it up, or you can get one scoop at a time of different things, and
They do have a website. I just found them.
Oh, they do?
Awaze, AWAZE -restaurant.com.
Oh, cool. Okay. On our cards.
It's called Awaze Ethio Fusion and Vegan Restaurant.
Cool. Very good. Another popular dish is called kitfo, Kitfo. And this is more like a stew, like a steak stew. It's beef tartare made with raw minced beef, flavored with danikar kibbeh, which is the infused butter, and a spice blend called mitma. It's often served with mild cheese called ayib, but we had it without it. And this is the one that David Cole and I had that was just spicy. We had a real spicy hot. We didn't ask for it to be mild. We didn't know. And it was just, but it's kind of like steak tartare. It was just really good and creamy and really, really good, and especially a lot of butter in it. Something called Azifa, Azifa. It's combining green lentils, chopped tomatoes, green chilies, and red onions, and it's basically their answer to Mexico's pico de gallo. It's often served as part of a combination platter. It could be on a salad. It's just a nice little condiment type of thing. Ful is another one, Fuul. This is a popular dish in East Africa and in the Middle East, made with stewed and spiced fava beans that many Ethiopians eat for breakfast. Regular ful is made for one. It's served in an endless supply of fresh bread, which is the injera, and that's just very interesting. Another one is called Siga, Siga Wat, W-A-T, and it's similar to Doro Wat, except it contains beef instead of chicken, and that was excellent. And what else? You have their menu in front of you?
Yeah, I have their menu in front of me through their website. So you got to describe some of what they offer. And I think the squares are called Kategna, Kategna, and it's sandwiches made. There's actually injera square sandwiches made with savory homemade awazi paste.
Ooh.
Oh, that's interesting. I don't think we tried that.
Not yet.
We'll have to try that. They do have the beef dishes that, wazi tips, spicy or mild. The wazi tips, once again, is the prime rib sauteed with awazi, which is that sauce we talked about, and that's it. The zizil tips, Zil, Tibs, Tibs. It's sizzling strip of tender beef grilled to perfection to desired temperature, topped with a blend of onion, garlic, sliced and seeded jalapenos. I know. It's making my mouth water just talking about
We're
this.
actually going on Wednesday night, and we're bringing a bunch of friends and family there.
Well, anybody want to go? You can let us know.
Meet us there.
We can add some tables.
Yeah, no, really. We'll give you more information afterwards.
Yeah, definitely.
But, okay, well, then the other thing, too, they have a lot of desserts and different drinks and stuff, but their coffee is amazing. It's not your regular, Starbucks coffee. What they
I've
do.
never heard of it, so this is something really interesting to me.
Yeah.
So,
No.
Alan, just start describing what's different about their coffee.
Okay, well, it's kind of a ceremonial social event that involves washing, roasting, and grinding the beans before brewing them in a traditional clay pot oven called a jabina. Once it's ready, the host pours the coffee into cups for everyone to enjoy alongside traditional Ethiopian snacks. It's also considered rude to leave without having at least 3 cups of coffee, since Ethiopians believe your spirits will transform after those 3 rounds. So
Well, we'll
that's
be
important.
wired all night.
You won't be you won't be able to sleep all night. In Loma Linda, there used to be a really, really nice small Ethiopian restaurant, and that's where I learned about it. And they, like I said, they put over a fire right in front of you. It's a whole ceremony thing. They roast it right in front of you, and then basically they make the coffee, grind it up, and make the coffee.
I would love to see it roasted and everything because that's a little bit different. And I'm like I said, I've had Ethiopian food everywhere, but I don't think I've seen that being offered. So it's neat that this restaurant does have that and then offer that.
I know she was happy when I told her about it, and she goes, "You've had it before?" And I go, "Yeah."
Yeah.
And she goes, "So Wednesday night when we go, they're definitely going to have that."
Yeah, definitely.
So I'm going to put this out on our website, on our Facebook and stuff, to see if people want to come. If not this Wednesday, a different, maybe a grub club type of thing. And
yeah.
it
Let
might
us
be a
know if
fun
you're
thing.
interested. Maybe we can arrange something.
It's a little bit out of the way, but it's a whole day adventure. I would definitely spend a whole day walking and tasting different things, especially the Indian sweets and stuff. And it's just a real fun thing. I'm going to do some research and see if there's anyone there that can maybe do a tour of the city and stuff and take us around. And so I don't know. My mind's going right now, but it's just really exciting food. And
It is. I mean, it's totally different, and it's like literally in our backyard. It's not that far away, and I think you really don't have a chance to get exposed to this unless somebody introduce it to you.
Mm-hmm.
You had no idea Tija had a little India and all offers all those varieties.
they have
of different,
every nation in the world, I think, is
yeah,
there.
it's literally like one end is like Korean, the one end is Chinese, the other hand Ethiopian, the other hand is India, and then there's actually there was like Pakistani.
Pakistani, yeah.
Yeah, I was like, I actually had a sign that got me stumbled. It says some weird name, and I'm like, what is that? What kind of cuisine is that? And I had to look it up, and I'm like, oh, okay, a type of Pakistan cuisine.
Mm-hmm.
So, there's more places to explore.
Yeah, Pakistani food is different than Indian food, but
Totally different.
But this is something.
Well, I think because people think it's the same, but it's not, because
it's the way they cook it.
They cook it different. I think they don't use as much cream in their food. They use more ginger base versus, I think, Indian food has less of a ginger flavor to them, like a curry.
Mm-hmm.
The difference between the two curries. The names of the dishes a lot of times are similar, but they do taste, distinctly different to me.
Yeah, the kebabs are really, really good, and we'll have to do Pakistani one day again.
Yep.
So, again, the name of the restaurant is called Awaze, Awaze, Etho Fusion and Vegan. The website is Azazi Restaurant.
Awazi-restaurant.com.
Okay.
You get to see pictures of their food. They tell you the menu, the hours, and description of each item. So you get an idea what they offer.
Right. And the phone number, let me give the phone number one more time. Do you have the phone number there? This is kind of smeared. It looks like.
Yes, I do have a phone number here. According to their website, it's 562-263-6001.
I think that's the old one.
Once again, this is their website, according.
What I have here is 562-214-7, looks like 7312. Best thing to do is you can give me a ring, or you can just go to find me on Facebook, or my email is Mr. Foodie, Mr. Foodie1, the number 1, at Outlook.com. Mr. Foodie1 at Outlook.com. Or you can find me at Allan Borgen at Facebook or Instagram. Mm-hmm. I can give you the information. So, and if you do want to come on Wednesday, we're going to be there around 7 o'clock or so.
Yeah, just give us heads up. So because we gave them heads up.
Yeah, I need to let them know. So they're making a special platter for us.
Exactly, because I don't think they offer the variety of food that we know. That they're going to offer us. Because we special arranged it. So
yeah, and I'm going to put it on the internet. We're going to do.
On your Facebook.
Facebook and video, YouTube.
Okay,
So
great.
we'll do that.
And then the second thing we tried, after that meal, we went and tried a place. Okay, this is
It's
like
right
after a
downstairs.
huge meal. It's like, okay,
First of
let's
all,
try this other place.
It said it could feed 3 or 4. Haha, we almost finished it.
No, well, almost.
Took some home, yeah.
But so it's a place called Saffron Spot, and it's basically Indian sweets, like desserts. The desserts, coffee, tea, ice cream, shaved ice, and different, preparation. It's slightly different. So it's homemade ice cream that they offer. They made themselves. They have stuff with fig and rose. They have saffron ice cream. They have pistachio, mango. They have some unique ones that you've never heard of. I had to ask them, and they're more than happy to let you taste their flavor. Yeah, I was really impressed with them. They have something called Raj Hog. It's Rajbhog. It's basically cashews. I think it's cashew, pistachio, cardamom, saffron, and something else. Where's the menu? Do you have it?
No.
Okay. Anyways, but it's such a unique blend of flavors. I was so impressed. I really enjoyed it. I would say if I have to rate, that might be at the top of my list. Second would be the rose one. They have one that's rose, and it is
very rich,
phenomenal.
And creamy. Yeah.
Yes, creamy but not super sugary. I have to say, that's what I took away from it. And they're more than happy to give you taste test of different items so that you can figure out what you like. So it was the gal that helped us was super friendly. I was really impressed with their service. So.
Good stuff.
Yeah, and they offer sugarcane juice. They have just all kinds of faluda, which is like a basically a smoothie with noodles inside with like blended yogurt drink or smoothie drink with some fruit flavor, and then they usually sprinkle some sort of chia seeds or basil seeds or something in there. It's quite unique. I don't know, like after a big meal, I think the noodles didn't do anything for me, but if I wasn't hungry, I think the noodles was awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But anyways, I think our guest is on the phone.
Okay, we'll get to him in just a couple of minutes. So also, I want to let you know, again, we also went to another restaurant. We'll talk about it later. It's called Canaan, Canaan. It's a Chinese restaurant, and very, very different. They have one in, I believe, West Covina. West Covina.
West Covina.
And then they have the one in Artesia. And how would you
More
describe that?
to come.
How would you describe that?
I would say it's the one in our West Covina. It's a little more.
More authentic?
No. The one in Artesia is more
Artesia,
authentic.
okay, yeah.
It's more authentic, just because the area is so international. The one in West Covina has a smaller menu, but it's very welcoming. The menu is in English and Chinese, and and also it has all the pictures on it, so it's a little bit easier to order if you haven't never been there.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I describe it.
But delicious food. Delicious food.
So more to come next time.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So our guest.
Okay, this month is, well, I'll tell you what, our guests can talk about it. So with us is Jonah, Johna, Johanna, French. How do you pronounce it? I'm sorry. Jonna, okay, I'm sorry. I'm terrible with names, as you may know. And with me is Izzy, my co-host. And
nice.
Nice
Yeah, we
to
have
meet you.
and this month basically is National Picnic Month. And first, let's talk about yourself a little bit, because you're a food blogger and an influencer, and let's talk about that a little bit, and then let's get right into Jillian's recipe.
Yes, it is National Picnic Month, and I am Jonna Knows Good Food, and that's what I talk about most of the time. I have been talking about food for about 15 years now in Washington, D.C., and many other regions, but just sharing recipes and drink mixes and tips and all kinds of stuff about food. And today, this is no exception, because I'm really looking forward to sharing one of my favorite times of the year. July, it's warm, and it's such a great time for a picnic.
Oh, I can imagine. I like eating except for the bugs. So I like picnics and restaurants.
Yes, so I have some tips and tricks for that.
Okay, well, let's talk about picnicking. Let's talk about this.
Yeah, so usually, after you find a good spot in a picnic location, usually you find you have a little trouble sometimes with the breeze blowing. And this is one of my favorite new tricks. It's like using a fitted twin sheet to cover the table instead of using a tablecloth. And then, the wind won't blow. And then, the elastic, it helps to grip the table and make for, a much stable way to cover your table. So, your food's not flying away. And like I said, the tablecloth's not flying away.
Uh-huh.
Go ahead. Yeah, and to your point about the bugs, ironically, it's really easy to actually keep some of them away. Through for ants, it's the smell of peppermint. They hate it. It makes it impossible for them to communicate with each other.
Huh.
So rub a little peppermint on the surface of your picnic table, and this will keep the ants away.
Oh, wow. Didn't know that. We went to a restaurant, I think it was San Antonio, but I can't remember exactly. And they had these little fans on the table. And it was like you press a button, and it like...
It's wireless, and they had no I don't know. I think it's rechargeable or something.
Yeah.
But they put it next to our food, and so the flies kept away. It was pretty interesting, really neat.
And that would work really good if you're outside too. So, okay, what else can you tell us about picnicking?
Yes, and also to keep flies away, which this is another one of my favorites, is use a half a lemon and some cloves, and that keeps the flies away because they like all the food that you bring out. So you want to get rid of those.
And lemon and cloves, they won't eat.
Oh, yes, absolutely. And then
so you just do you just cut a lemon and put some cloves in it?
Yeah, you can cut a half a lemon and just put some cloves. Maybe put a clove in like a little bag that and just leave it open and just leave it on the table, whatever you have, or a cheesecloth. That's what I would probably use is a cheesecloth because you can wrap them up, and then just tie it up and put it on the table.
One of Izzy's favorite bugs are mosquitoes. Anything?
Oh,
yeah. Tell us about that.
Oh yeah, I know. Just that the citronelle candles are the best things for mosquitoes. But of course, you want to use your spray, all that stuff. That seems to help to keep it away, and during this time of the year. But as far as like your food, which is like the main component of this whole thing,
right?
You can store your spices in old Tic Tac containers. And, just add whatever you like, the salt, pepper, whatever you have in your cupboard. And for salads, mason jars are all the rage right now. Use them. They're fun. They're easy. And it makes them more portable.
So basically put the ingredients in it.
Yeah, my friend does that. They actually do. They grow their own veggies. So they actually make them up all week. And they say last all week. So they just put all the ingredients in without the dressing. So when they're ready to eat, they just dump it out, put the dressing on, they're ready to go.
Oh, yeah. And that's the way to do it. They're really easy. They're simple. And, you can just pretty much pack up what you want and, make them to go. And you can make them specialty, like whoever has different tastes or, whatever they want in there, you can have fun with it before you leave.
Wow.
Now, as far as your drink, because that's a big part of picnicking, for your sparkling water, your juice, or your wine, use frozen grapes. They're a great substitute to ice because when they melt, they just don't melt into the drink. They'll actually add some flavor to whatever you're drinking.
Yeah, we nibble on that all the time. I always have some in my freezer.
Yes, it won't water down your drink. It's so great. And then also you can use cupcake liners to cover your beverages because, like you said, you want to keep all the bugs and pests out.
Oh yeah.
And it's really easy to just poke a hole through the liner with a straw, and then that keeps your drink covered.
Huh? Never thought about that. Good ideas.
Definitely.
Yeah, no, it's a lot of fun ways to incorporate it, and you definitely want to make sure your menu is easy. I love Julian's Recipe. Their baguettes are so delicious. They're European old world style baguettes that really carry easy, and you can use them for so many different things. Today, I'm going to share a little bit of their bruschetta recipe, which is super simple. It's everything you think it is. Some chopped tomatoes, chopped onions, a little bit of olive oil, salt and pepper. And once you pop the baguette in the oven, pretty much your work is done. You just top it with some cheese. And my suggestion is once you top it with the cheese, bring it to the picnic with you. And then when you get there, add the tomatoes and that mixture on top and a little dollop of mustard. And it's a nice treat.
Oh, wow. Now, Julian's, you mentioned them. Let's go to their website. Is Julian's Secrets.com. I'm sorry, Julian's Recipes.com. It's JULIAN recipes.com. And they have all the information on there. And yeah, let's talk about their products. I mean, let's talk about the products first, and we'll talk about more recipes and stuff. You said it's European-style baguettes?
Yes, they're European bakery-style baguettes that are made with traditional family recipes, and they're wholesome, and they're high-quality ingredients, and you can really taste it. They don't taste like the traditional baguettes. Like, the first time I tasted them, I was like, I am so impressed. Like, we buy them every week, and we pair them with almost everything. Mm-hmm. They go with bruschetta. They go with spaghetti. They go with basically whatever. They're like a nice little side dish to whatever I'm using or making in the kitchen. Yes. And they're like full-bodied in flavor. So you really you really don't have to do any work. You don't have to add any, like they have this truffle butter flavor that I absolutely love. And you don't have to add anything else to this baguette, but just pop it in the oven.
Yeah, very flavorful. Izzy,
yeah.
It looks like they do sell them nearby us.
Yes.
That's a hard part, usually finding things near us. I think I find, when I did a Google, it says online is Walmart and Ralph's. So. Yeah,
and also Whole Foods. You can find them in Whole Foods or online, Julian's Recipe. And then you can check out, more stuff about them on Instagram, Twitter, or Facebook at Julian's Recipe.
Okay, cool. Yeah, we don't have Whole Foods near us, so.
Yeah. How long have they been around?
Oh, apologies.
How long have they been around?
Just a few years. They are newer. Like, this is like a newer brand that they're working with, the baguettes, as far as this product. But it is definitely something that was needed on the market because, like I said, they're delicious, and like I said, they come in different flavors. The traditional is just as good. It's basically like your basic garlic bread baguette, and then they have a multi-grain for some people that are kind of watching what they're eating. The pretzel is also good, and like I said, my truffle butter is my personal favorite.
One of these days we have to taste it.
Yes, it's absolutely delicious. Definitely pick up. You will not be disappointed. Like, some products you're like, oh, this is not really good, but it's excellent.
Yeah, unfortunately, and I'll take the blame for it. We've been so busy running around eating and doing what we're doing that I haven't been able to go to the market to get that. So I've got coupons from you guys he sent me, so I will try it, and we'll have you on again talking about it. So
absolutely.
Now again, it's good for anything, not just picnics. Even though it's National Picnic Month, but you can use it for for sandwiches, for kids, for anything. I mean, I can see appetizers, especially that
bruschetta.
Yeah, bruschetta. That's perfect for parties and stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yes, and I've been sharing with people that the reason it's so great is because now everyone has there's the mimosa bar, the taco bar. There's now the bruschetta bar. That's like the new trend. And with these baguettes, you can really have fun with them. They have you can use it as a breakfast edition, or, it could be served savory. It can be served sweet. There's so many variations, so you can really have fun with it.
Fresh baguette, can't beat that.
I've only seen one kind, usually the French kind, and I've never seen flavor.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so it's interesting. I'll have to definitely try that.
Izzy's excited. I see her getting excited. She's also hungry. She's very hungry, too, so you're talking to her who's very hungry, so she's definitely going to get that. So now, again, let's talk a little bit about your website now. How long have you been doing it, you said?
15 years, since 2007. Mm-hmm. I have been doing John and O's Good Food, and it started as a way to share recipes and restaurant reviews with friends and family, and it was about 7 readers, and from there, the rest is history.
Yeah.
It blossomed. So.
That's great. It seems like obviously that's the most popular wave now. TV is kind of going away, and social media.
So it means you're archaic?
Yeah, I'm archaic. Yeah, I've done my TV show for 27 years on PBS, reviewing restaurants, and so I'm no more doing that. So now it looks like I'm going to be learning how to do social media, driving Izzy crazy, teaching me, but doing that and just again turning people on to food and culture, and especially now so many problems with the world going on, and if you think about it, you go drive yourself crazy. So to me, the best way of doing it is eating, cooking especially.
Absolutely.
If you're really into cooking, it's a passion, and it gets your mind off of things. And especially like we were just talking about an Ethiopian restaurant, And what besides great food, they eat everything communal, kind of like with family and social. It's a social happening. It's not just everyone gets their own plate. They don't share it. It's all about sharing. And I think that's the kind of cuisine I like because it gives you a chance to talk. It's like Korean barbecue. You know, nothing better than roasting your own meat, sitting there and barbecuing your own meats and talking. And it's just not cramming your face and leaving.
Yeah, plus you get a little more variety when you share it with other people, right? You order your own food. It's very, it's just yours. So you're not sharing with anybody else. You only get your flavor. But if you share with other people, you can get multiple flavors, and everybody gets a little bit of everything. I think it's a lot more interesting to me.
I agree too.
Yes.
How did you get interested in this? Did you was it your parents, or did you work in the field, or what?
Well, actually, I was just, young urbanite here in D.C., just running around the city, going to these different restaurants. And I would have these experiences where I would be like, well, I want to really, what would I tell somebody about this restaurant? And I just decided to put it on, pen to paper. And that's how we got started. And then the same thing during that time, I had just wrapped up law school. And during that time, I would have friends that would cook things. And, I have from all these interesting backgrounds. And I would be like, oh, well, what I want to do is I want to recreate whatever you're making at home and share it with people. So then I started sharing those recipes.
Wow. So
and
again, it comes down to passion. That's what it's all about.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
So,
I love it. And to your point about sharing, we actually just attended an Ethiopian-style wedding, and it was one of the best spreads that we've ever seen because it was a combination of so many different flavors.
And you didn't invite us. Oh, I thought you were a friend. Jeez. Wouldn't that be something, Izzy, an Ethiopian wedding? Oh, my goodness.
Definitely.
Very great. So, okay, one more time. The website is Julian, Julians, Julian's recipe. I can't talk to him. I'm so hungry now. Juliansrecipe.com. That's Julians recipe.com. Whew.
Yeah. Jeez, that was hard.
We're both very hungry.
Well, we talk about all this good food. It's like, well, we haven't eaten today, and it's like, okay, maybe you should get something to eat.
Yeah, we're gonna go. Yeah. We're gonna hit all the restaurants today. So, well, thank you so much for joining us. And anytime Julian's has any new products or anything, give us a call. Let us know. We can have you on again.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me.
Okay. Be well.
Take
Happy
care.
eating.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Wow, a lot of food we talked about, didn't we?
Yeah, I know. I'm making me salivate. It's making me like, okay, when can we go get something to eat? Something good.
Just to let you know, folks, we're working with our producer Joe, who has some limitations on what he'll eat. We want to take him on a fun evening, blindfold him, and just feed him. He's laughing. So no, I'm serious. That'd be first time impressions on things. So
yeah,
we'll talk about it. So anyway, we're on every Saturday from 4 to 5, 102.3 FM, 106.5 FM, and AM 1050. The stations will leave no listener behind. I got to eat and drink. Food critic Allan Borgen here.
And Izzy Bussy.
Happy eating, everybody.
This segment is sponsored by Dickey's Barbecue, now in Yucaipa at 33562 Yucaipa Boulevard in the Vaughn Shopping Center. Dickey's Barbecue, where you can get sauced with 5 delicious barbecue sauces. For the holidays, there's the Dickey's Holiday Feast options. Everything you need for a festive gathering with delicious hassle-free meals that you just heat and serve, whatever your needs are. They have the perfect option, including the complete feast, the dinner feast, or the single holiday meats and sides, available for pickup and delivery from Dickey's. And there's no charge for kids on Sundays. In fact, the kids get free ice cream. Dickey's Barbecue, now open in Yucaipa at 33562 Yucaipa Boulevard in the Vaughn Shopping Center. Dickey's Barbecue, whatever your needs are.
This segment brought to you by Concerts on the Green with the Calamasa Cultural and Performing Arts Association.
And the City of Calamasa and this radio station proudly present Concerts on the Green with our free kickoff concert July 14th with 6 Grammy Award winners in the band from 6:30 to 9:30 p.m.
Stevie E and the LCB Band.
Bill Champlin, Hall of Fame rock and roll member from the group Chicago. Alex Drizos, head engineer and musical director for Dave Mason. Along with musicians from George Benson, Peebo Bryson, Aretha Franklin, Natalie Cole, The Voice, and American Idol.
You only get one summer in 2022, so make it memorable and get active.
Concerts on the Green in Calamasa, July 14th, and it's free.
What does the WeatherBug app tell you?
My commute will be a doozy today.
Pack my allergy meds.
Lightning. Pick up a pizza, not a tennis racket.
With more free map layers than any other weather app, WeatherBug tells you more of what you need to know to prepare you for the unpredictable. Discover why over 10 million users choose WeatherBug.
Maybe it's a commute to the couch day.
Download the WeatherBug app today for free.
Karen and the staff at It's a Dog's World Canine Academy reminds listeners this summer, never leave your pets alone in parked cars with the windows closed, as dehydration, heat stroke, and death can occur in just minutes. So make sure they have a steady supply of water and shade. This message from It's a Dog's World Canine Academy in Chino, teaching people how dogs think is their commitment. For all your boarding, training, private lessons, off-leash, service dog needs, and more, call 909-548-3150 for a free consultation. That's 909-548-3150. Or online at itsadogsworld.biz.
Hi, I'm food critic Allan Borgen, and I'm excited to tell you about Ray's Shanghai Bistro, located next to Redlands DMV on Lagonia in Redlands. Ray's Shanghai Bistro offers the largest and most delicious array of traditional and original Chinese dishes available in the Inland Empire. Some of my favorite dishes are the house-made pot stickers, the crisp pork spare ribs with garlic, their unique spicy lamb with bamboo, the sweet and tangy deep-fried orange peel beef, and the savory basil spicy shrimp, plus lots of vegetarian dishes. Whether you dine in, pick up the food, or have them cater your next party or special occasions, you will see why Ray's, spelled R-U-I', Shanghai Bistro, is truly the best Chinese restaurant in the Inland Empire. Their website is raysshanghaibistro.net. That's raysshanghaibistro.net. RUIS shanghaibistro.net. Happy eating. You won't be disappointed.
NBC News Radio, I'm Chris Coraggio. On abortion rights, sit-in outside the White House is among the dozens of marches and rallies taking place across the country today. The demonstration is organized by Women's March as part of their Summer of Rage in reaction to last month's Supreme Court reversal of Roe v. Wade. The D.C. sit-in caps a week of protests outside Senate office buildings, calling on Congress and the White House to protect abortion. President Biden signed an executive order yesterday aimed at protecting women's access to reproductive health care. Former White House counsel Pat Cipollone is reportedly being cooperative with the House January 6th committee. Scott Carr has more.
Cipollone was issued a public subpoena to testify before the committee the day after former Trump White House aide Cassidy Hutchinson testified. She told the panel Cipollone had discussed potential criminal legal exposure for Donald Trump's planned rally on the day of the Capitol insurrection. He met with the committee behind closed doors for over 8 hours Friday for a videotaped and transcribed interview. Republican panel Vice Chair Liz Cheney has called the